Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Pointy Not Sharp. Today we're taking a look at a Yugoslavian M48 bayonet. More specifically, this is actually the M48 BO model, so that's the export model. And what the BO stands for is Bez Oznake, and that means unmarked, or without marking. The export models don't have the manufacturer's marking on the ricasso, which is a pretty well-known marking on this style of bayonet, but I'll get to that when we cover off the markings. Now these were made by PREDUZECE, 44 is the name of the company, and essentially PREDUZECE means enterprise, and 44 is the year that Yugoslavia was liberated during the Second World War. So their arms production, their factories were bombed and destroyed, and in 1944, they started to rebuild their military technical institute. And yeah, so one of the companies that started up again was PREDUZECE 44, and that's the company that went on to become Zastava Arms, which we all know pretty well now. A very, very famous company, still making stuff today. Making some pretty cool stuff today, actually. So these bayonets were designed in 1944, and my understanding is they're a bit of a copy of I think it was the Belgian model of 1924 export bayonet, but I can't confirm that. I haven't been able to see what they look like, but we'll get to the construction of the blade in just a minute. So they were manufactured from 1950 through to 1965. The Yugos replaced their M98 bayonets. Sorry, not their M98 bayonets, their bayonets as well. They replaced their M48 rifles with their own licensed copy of the SKS, and that only stayed in for a couple of years before they replaced that with their own unlicensed copy of the AKM. So there were about 1.2 million of these made. Very, very nice bayonets actually for Yugoslavia. Generally, they don't make the nicest stuff, but this is very high quality. I like it quite a lot. Now, the M48 was itself a copy of the Kar 98K. It was an 8mm Mauser, and it's very, very similar to the Kar 98K. A couple of minor differences, and the parts aren't interchangeable. It's just a bit bigger and beefier. But PREDUZECE made a substantial number of these bayonets, and most of them were used domestically by Yugoslavia. But they did export a couple as well, so there was an order of 3,000 for Egypt. Of that 3,000, I think only a couple hundred actually made their way to Egypt. The rest stayed in country. A number were made for Iraq, Lebanon, a couple of the African nations, Poland, and I think Indonesian police still use them now as well. So yeah, there's a fair few of them out there. We'll have a look at the actual construction. So I've got sort of a Mauser style blade here with a nice deep fuller on either side. Really pointy tip here, so spear point tip. A false edge that's unsharpened and not quite symmetrical. Probably not going to get that to focus with my camera here. I'll give up on that. And we've got a sharpened blade, which is still quite sharp, has a very, very light angle, so it's a very delicate edge. You'd be putting rolls on that pretty easily. But yeah, still got the factory factory edge on it. It's quite sharp. The moving down, we've got a nice little cross guard, muzzle ring, handle with two wooden grips, and it's retained by these really odd looking screws that you need a special tool to remove. I imagine all the tools are long gone, so if you want to remove these screws, I imagine you've got to modify a screwdriver to fit in there, or get some specialty tools or something, I don't know. Got a little oil or inspection hole, same as like the German 8498s. And the pommel is very, very Belgian. Looks just like a lot of the other Belgian bayonets that were made. Standard push button, nice long deep mortise. Yeah. So quite a light blade, and as I said, still very, very sharp. Now we'll take a look at the scabbard and the frog. So scabbard's just sheet steel. It's been constructed. Nice little ball finale at the end with a little drainage hole for water at the base. I've got a very Mauser style frog stud here, and a very distinctive leather frog. So other than this cross piece here, it looks very very Mauserish, but it's got its retention strap as well, and this really big little ball catch there, and belt loop at the top. Now I'll jump into the markings. I find the markings actually quite interesting. So this one here, first I'll go over what we do have, then what we don't have. So first of all, we've got a nice big serial number just here on the crossguard, and you notice two faint circles in the background. Those are rivets that are used to retain the crossguard, and they've sort of been like polished and you barely see them. Now on the reverse, we have a couple ones in boxes and circles. So we have one circle and one box on the blade, both with ones in them. One of each on the side of the crossguard, and one of each on this part of the crossguard as well. So my understanding is these are proof and inspection marks. I don't know specifically which test or proof they are, but I'm sure someone out there does know. And there are a couple good Serbian books on knives and bayonets out there as well. So if you do know, comment below, let the rest of us know, that'd be great. Most of those books aren't in English, so even if I get my hands on a copy, I'm a bit stuffed. I'll just take the scabbard out of the frog if I can. So on the scabbard on the frog bar here, we've got another serial number. It's upside down. There we go. I don't think that's a matching number, is it? No, it's not matching, unfortunately. And then in terms of other markings, we've got one little marking on the ball finale. I can't quite make out what it is. Focus. Focus. Sort of a poor stamp. It wasn't stamped very well. And I'm not seeing anything at the top of the scabbard. And in the mouth here, we've got another one in a circle and in a box. So circle here, box here. So these didn't see a terrible lot of use. From what I can tell, they saw some use in the Lebanese Civil War in, when was that, about 1975. And they saw a bit of use in the Yugoslav wars as well. Other than that, they haven't seen too much action. But they're very, very well made bayonets. I like them. They're still relatively cheap. Yeah, grab one if you can get one. Thanks for watching, guys. If I made any mistakes or missed anything, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.